the Real Deal Video Strategist Club. Guys, I hope everybody is doing great this evening. We've got a treat tonight. I am just about as pumped up as I've ever been to speak with anybody about a deal that they've closed. Camilo Jimenez closed the deal for $7,000 a video sales trifecta. And honestly, that's not the part that pumps me up. It's the reaction that he got from the business owner in the sales meeting. And this guy was just so pumped up to spend his money with Camilo and buy video strategy. And Camilo recorded this and he shared it with us. And as soon as I heard this, I was pumped up. So Camilo agreed to hop on a call tonight and share his experience in this meeting and how he landed this deal and the whole thing. So Camilo, thank you, dude, for coming on and being willing to kind of share your experience here, brother.
My pleasure, David. Thank you for having me. It's an honor to be here with you, man.
That's what I'm talking about. So, Camilo, let's kind of start with this. And actually, for everybody that's watching, I'm streaming this to the free Facebook group. I'm streaming this to YouTube. I'm streaming this to the paid Facebook group. I am monitoring both Facebook groups. So if you have a question, by all means, put your question inside the live stream and I'll answer it. Or you can hop on the Zoom call and ask any questions directly to Camilo. But let's do this, Camilo. Why don't you just tell us a little bit about this deal? Like how did you meet the person? Like what type of business is it? Give us a little backstory behind this thing.
Cool. So this is a physical therapist here in Atlanta. I'm in Atlanta, Georgia. I met this physical therapist through BNI. So that's one of the first things that I got from the Real Deal Video Strategist Club. When I bought the course, one of the first things that I hear you talking about was networking and how important it was. So I joined BNI, and then that's how I met this physical therapist. He's a local physical therapist here in Atlanta. And like I said before, I mean, he was really excited when I joined the chapter because he had been looking for a videographer. Like he knew he needed video. He just hadn't got to that point.
Okay, so join the BNI. Was this your first BNI that you've ever joined or networking situation?
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay, so pretty new to the whole networking game, which can be a little bit intimidating. It's hard to go up and talk to a bunch of business owners and
absolutely
say what you do and meet people and mingle and stuff. But before we get into too much of the deal, tell me about your experience with networking. Like how has your transition been into that? Has it been smooth? Have you been able to set up one-on-ones? Are you making relationships? What are you finding is your experience with networking right now?
Cool. Yeah. So like I said, I never heard about BNI. I actually moved to Atlanta in November 2019. So I'm fairly new here in the area. I hadn't done much networking. I did once, and it was like a speed networking thing, and it was the worst thing ever. It was just like everyone trying to sell each other's products, and it was just really annoying. I was like, I hate this. I don't like this. And then when you talked about BNI, I started doing some research, and then I found a chapter here in Atlanta, but they usually get together on Thursdays around noon. I was like, that doesn't work for me. And then I found another chapter, and then I went there. So for my first meeting as a visitor, I actually had your sales pitch, like your 60-second sales pitch. I wrote it down, and then I got there, and when it was my turn, I was like, so you know how we're all taking turns and trying to, promote our business. And it was a mess. I was so nervous. I was so scared. My 60-second pitch, it was like 25 seconds. And everyone was like, what just happened? I was like, whatever. And then I came back. One of the things that was really cool about that meeting, I wasn't really comfortable with the whole networking thing. They were very friendly, but in the club, someone asked a question about business cards. And someone mentioned that he had a link card. And then I went in and I bought the card. And that was such an easy icebreaker for me when I got there. And one of the guys was like, can I see your business card? I was like, here, just tap this. And he's like, oh my God, that is so cool. And he started showing it to everyone. So it kind of helped me a lot to ease into a chapter. And then, that was like my first experience. And I thought it was really, really good. I really liked the group, and then I decided to submit my application, and that's how I get there.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, Philip Pearson's the one that has the link card.
There you go.
Yeah. So if you guys have any questions, obviously it's working for these two dudes. If you guys have any questions about that business card, hit these guys up because it's good stuff. Okay, so you dug into networking, you went up there, you blew it, you got nervous, you're trying to give your 60-second speech. And I love that, because I think a lot of people will let themselves get stuck and not try that, because they think that if they don't blow everybody out of the water with this amazing 60-second pitch, that they're not going to have any opportunities. And that couldn't be further from the truth. The 60-second pitch is just a placeholder. Really, the magic happens when you actually start to build relationships and meet people outside of those networking meetings. You meet them for one-on-ones, you meet them for, coffee or lunch or whatever, and you start actually building relationships. That's where the magic happens. So don't overthink those 60-second pitches. All it is a quick little small introduction. Okay, so you went to BNI, started meeting people. Did you meet the guy at BNI and then go to like a lunch meeting, or how did that pan out, this physical therapist?
So so the first one, it was horrible. And then we had a second one where I used my 60 seconds to talk about a video, and it was a lot better. So it gave me a lot more confidence. The third meeting that we had actually was through Zoom, because the room was booked. So we did it through Zoom. So it was like, it's my time to shine. So I used my R5 as my webcam. And then I had like this beautiful blurry background, and it had lights. And they were like, oh man, look at that. Like, you can tell people with their, their webcams, which usually in the laptop are not very good, or desktop. So, and then one of the members that made the comment was the physical therapist. Like, Camilo, look at your camera, like, looks so professional. I was like, thank you. So, and then the next meeting, that's when I talk about digital courses. So I use my 60-second pitch to talk about how I want to take my business into the digital course kind of thing. Like, I want to do digital courses for other people, just to partner with experts and then just do digital course for them. And when I was doing my pitch, for some reason I was looking at him, he's like, And then when it gets to a part at BNI where you have to say, I have a referral or I have a testimonial about someone, he said, I want to refer myself to Camilo because I have a couple of videos and they suck. So I want you to help me. So I was like, okay, cool.
That's what I'm talking about. So right here, when Camilo hears that, he hears that money going out off, right? He's like, okay, I see something there. I know something's there. That's cool. Okay. So this guy, he said, I want to refer myself to you. Obviously, he's thinking that he needs video. So where did it progress from there? What happened? Did you guys go to discovery meeting? How did you make that happen?
No, so one day I told him, like, let's get together after one of our meetings. Let's take 5-10 minutes and let's talk about what is it that you need. So it was like a 10-minute conversation. He kept talking, like, he's very personable. He's a very happy person. He's such a cool guy. And he kept talking about how he's sharing his office with a chiropractor, but his main goal is to move to an office where it's just him. And he kept talking about it in the office, in the new space, and how he's working with another BNI member to get some space. So I was like, okay, he really wants to move to a new office.
Okay.
So we had that conversation, and all I did was just listen to him, like listen to what he wanted, what he needed. And then I just kept talking about, okay, we're gonna get you to a new office. We can do videos. And then once you are in the new office, then we'll shoot different videos. It's like, yes, man, he was so pumped. And one thing that I did in that quick meeting was I told him, like, hey, listen, I'm not a videographer. I'm a video strategist. Like, if you're looking for someone to shoot one video, I'm not your guy. And that's something that I got from you. And then, but in the inside, like, I was like, what am I doing? Like, why am I saying this? Like, I need one video. If you ask me to do one video, I'll do it. But I was like, no, I just don't do one video. And he's like, I was freaking out. And the guy's like, that's such a cool approach. I need to do that for my business. I want to stop selling one, like one session, I want to start selling packages. I was like, okay, so that was
So
good.
that takes some guts, honestly, to sell somebody that, especially when you're starting your business, you're trying to get the ball rolling. It takes some guts to be able to just say, hey, if you only want one video, I'm not your person. I'm not your guy. That's not what I do, because we're all trying to make revenue. We're all trying to, make a living. We're trying to pay the bills as a solopreneur and entrepreneur. That's not easy to do. So, but to have the guts to put that on the table and define yourself as something more than just that one-off person, right? Have the confidence to say, if that's what you're looking for, I'm not your guy. I can send you somewhere else. I am a firm believer that what you tell the world you are will attract the type of people that you are trying to do business with, right? When he heard that, your credibility instantly went up in his head even more. And he was thinking, you know what? This guy's going to talk to me about something more than just a single video. He's going to talk to me about how to make my business more successful. That was going on in his head. I already know that. So I love that you put that on the table immediately during that first small conversation. Okay. So was that conversation over the phone? Was it in person? Where was
It was
that?
in person. It was right after one of our BNI meetings. So as
Okay.
soon as we leave, we just go to like a Starbucks and then we sit right there.
Was that a full-on discovery session, or
No,
did
it
you
was
say,
like a 10-minute meeting kind of thing. And the other thing that I told him was like, okay, so we're gonna go ahead and book 2 meetings. I need to book a discovery meeting. So when does it work for you? And he's like, let's do it next Wednesday. I was like, okay, but we need to book right away the other meeting in which I'm gonna present to you a video strategy. So let's do it on Friday. He's like, sure. So it was like 2 or 3 days apart. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So 2 days apart. I was like, we need to book those 2. The first one, I'm gonna come in. It's just everything you've said. Like, I mean, I'm just repeating what you've taught us. So like, I'm gonna come in, I'm gonna bring my iPad, I'm gonna record the entire meeting, and I'm gonna ask you a whole bunch of questions. And then in the second meeting, I'm gonna present something to you, and we'll go from there.
dude, textbook. I love it, man. Okay. So we got some people here that are watching you. Chris, I see you. Brian, guys, good to see you on the Facebook group. If you guys have questions for Camilo, stick them in the group here, or in the Facebook thing, and I'll ask him. I've got a whole bunch of questions, but I want to make sure to open up the floor to everybody else who has questions. Obviously, Derek, you're on the call, so if you have questions for him, you can ask. In fact, Derek, do you have any questions at this point?
I think the questions that I have are going to be coming from you anyways, which is just the trajectory of how this is unfolding. So
cool. Okay, let's keep going. Okay, so we get to the point where we've defined who we are and what you do, right? So he has a clear understanding of that. You've defined your process of what you're going to have to do in order to deliver something to him that is going to be successful and not just a waste of time and money. And you're going to have to do that through 2 meetings. So he set the 2 meetings. How did that first discovery meeting go?
So for the first discovery meeting, and that's something that in that week, that's when you did the DPC training. So I just watched those videos like 5 times, to be completely honest. Like, I have them saved on my Facebook. So I just do 2 clicks and then I'm on them. And then I just watched those videos over and over again, because DPC had like some similarities with a physical therapist. So by the time I got to a discovery meeting, I already knew what kind of videos I was gonna propose for his strategy, but I just didn't say anything. So I went there. We met right outside of our BNI meeting, and then I asked all these questions. And all of the questions that I ask are the ones that you have on Module 5 in the course, like literally exactly the same questions. I had a Google Doc with those questions, and then I had like the iPad was recording, and I asked all those questions. And when I was asking the questions, he's like, there was like 5 or 6 questions that he was like, that's such a good question. I was like, let me think about it. So all of these things were what made him think like, this guy knows what he's talking about. Which was really, really good.
Okay, so when at the end of that meeting, actually before I get to the end of that meeting, so at this point, did you guys talk about any sort of like camera gear, or did he ever ask you like what kind of equipment you use? Was that a big part of the conversation?
Nothing.
Not at all. Okay.
Like,
Cool.
to be honest, to be completely honest, I think I briefly showed him a couple of the videos that I've done in the past, but nothing very detailed that I would tell him like, hey, this is a good camera or not. But yeah.
Okay. So point being there is that, yes, you have examples that you can show. One of the things that I always tell my clients is we're absolutely going to make some awesome videos for you. That's part of the process, right? That's kind of a given that you want your brand, your business to look amazing. And we're going to do that for you. If you want to see examples of our previous work, I can show you examples. But what we're actually going to focus on is this and the strategy. And then it goes into the conversation. So the fact that you guys really didn't talk about camera gear just reinforces the whole idea that for a business owner, it's not about what camera you have. It's not about what lights you have. It's not about any of that stuff. It's about what is the plan? What is the strategy? What is the game plan that is going to make me more successful in my business? So at this point, you start asking these questions. And guys, for those of you who don't know where those questions are, that it's the first lesson in module 5. I have a whole Spark presentation in there, and I have all the questions that you can pull from. I will ask those questions inside my discovery meeting. Sometimes I ask them all. Sometimes I only ask the appropriate ones, depending on the discovery. But Camilo went obviously and just verbatim almost asked those questions.
Really?
Okay, cool. So
one more thing, just to go back to the point that you just said, one of the things that I told him in our quick meeting was like, hey, I'm super confident that this is going to work. That you're going to love my work. That if and this is not something that you've said before, or I don't think I've heard you saying that, but I told him like, if you don't like it, I'll give you your money back. And he's like, I will never ask you for my money back, but I know you're going to do a great job. So, but that's something that I just did to, just build trust. I don't know if it's good or not, but I mean, I think he kind of liked it.
You're going to find out one way or the other, right? And I have a feeling that's not going to be an issue at all. So this is perfect. And then Douglas, Jeff Dickinson, and Joe Booker, welcome to the call, guys. If you guys want to be on camera, you can. Not necessary. If you guys have questions, the floor is open here in a little bit. You guys can ask questions. So it's good to see you guys on here. Okay, so Camilo, at the end of this discovery meeting, what was the feeling? Could you sense that he felt like there was something more than just your run-of-the-mill videographer? Was there a build-up to excitement of going into the next meeting? How did you guys leave that first meeting, that discovery?
So that meeting, that's when I had that recording that I posted on Facebook. So that's how we actually ended it. So, I mean, it was on a very high note. I knew that he needed videos. I knew that he was very excited. And so, I mean, it was really, really good for me to hear that, knowing that whatever price I would set for these videos, he was willing to pay for it. So,
guys, if you haven't heard this recording, I posted it in both the free Facebook group and the closed Facebook group. The recording is just so awesome. This guy straight up told Camilo, you were saying all of the right things. I think he said to the point where he said, it's been a long time since I've been so excited to come to a meeting and actually spend my money, and I'm going to invest and it's going to happen. And there was just so much passion and excitement just from the discovery, just by Camilo asking the right questions and really hearing this business owner and what they truly are looking for and what they truly wanted. And this guy left that discovery almost already having spent that money in his head. So Camilo, take us to that sales meeting. So you guys met how many days afterwards?
So that was on a Wednesday. Then we met again on Friday. On Friday, what I had was, I used pretty much the same presentation that you have, the Spark presentation. There's another guy in the community, Mason. He shared one of his presentations, and that presentation is absolutely amazing. It's just like absolutely packed with content. I was like, I took some of those things because I didn't want to do everything that he did because that was massive. But I mean, I used that one, then I created a presentation, which I showed to him. And to be completely honest, like that presentation, it took me like 5 minutes because I knew he already wanted to just hear something like, okay, what is they gonna do for me? How much is this gonna cost? So I didn't go around the bushes or anything. I was like, okay, we're gonna do these videos, the trifecta. And then I told him, I have so many ideas for videos for you. I have like 20 videos, but let's do phase one. Let's get those videos done. And then once those start, bringing you clients, start bringing the results that you want, then we move to phase two. So this project, everything was like about $15,000. And he was like, yeah, let's do phase one. Like, and then the only question that he had once I showed him the price and everything, I was like, it's 7,000. I need 30% upfront and then 3 equal payments in the next 3 months. The only question that he had was like, can I pay you 7,000 upfront? I was like, okay, cool. I was like,
that's what's up.
I was like,
pay the whole thing right away.
I mean, if you want to pay, go ahead. And he's like, let me talk to my wife because we have some things going on, but I might pay you the full 7,000. I was like, whatever it's easy for you.
That 100% deserves the money gun, man. Just pay me all of it right away. I love it, dude. That is so cool. All right. So $7,000, what does this include? This includes a sales trifecta. This includes a little something else. And then phase two goes into a little bit more in depth, right?
So it's a sales trifecta. So we have a brand message video. We have 3 testimonials and 3 promo videos.
So just a straight up textbook sales trifecta with multiple of each, right? Except for the brand message video.
Exactly. And then we have, for phase 2, we have an FAQ video. We have like an explanation video for each one of the services that he offers. And then we have like a thank you for scheduling video for each one of the services because he uses Calendly and each service has a different link. So right as soon as people book something, it's going to be a video saying like, thank you for scheduling such and such treatment. This is what we're going to do. Bring these type of clothes, these type of documents, et cetera, et cetera.
Perfect. Perfect. Textbook clothes, dude. That is incredible. Let's do this. I want to open it up to the floor. So we've got Derek, we've got Douglas, we've got Jeff, we got Joe, and we got a bunch of people watching on the live stream. I am on the live stream now. So if you guys have questions about this, put them in. Camilo closed us $7,000 for phase 1 for a physical therapist. And then phase 2 is going to be probably around an initial, another $7,000. So if you guys have questions, go ahead and speak up. And if you're on the Zoom call, just go ahead and unmute yourself and ask your question.
So it sounds like everything went that sounds like it went pretty well. You followed the path and it went well. Is there any point where you were like, there's a little bit of resistance, or was he already like, you're the professional, I trust you, I need this done? Go for it.
The only part that I showed him was, and it was the marketing part of doing the ads and everything. I wasn't sure how to price that. So I told him it was going to be $400. And then he said, oh, it's $400. That's not a lot. I was like, that's a fee that I charge plus ad spend. And he's like, that was the only part that he put a little bit of resistance. He was like, you know what? My brother is a marketer. So I might ask him to do that part for me. So I was like, okay, we'll talk about it. But yeah.
Awesome.
That's perfect, dude. Honestly, I love it when people already have digital marketers or marketing team that they trust, because then I don't have to bring anybody on. And not that I can't, because obviously I have plenty of people that I can bring on for that. But when they have a marketing director and they've got an in-house team, or they've got somebody that does that for them, then we just collaborate, right? We discuss the plan. This is the game. It's almost like the quarterback is, and the coach and the running back and the linemen are all going over the plan together, and then they go and execute the play. And that's perfect when they already supply the linemen and the running back, and all you got to do is quarterback the videos. So that is awesome. Good stuff. Good stuff. Douglas, Jeff, Joe, you guys have any questions for Camilo?
Okay. No, I'm good. Thank you, though.
Of course. Welcome, guys. Camilo, let me ask you this, man. How long have you been an entrepreneur? Like, are you full time at this right now?
I'm not. I'm not. I
No?
have a full-time job. I work as a marketing director for a company. So this is my side hustle.
Okay. Are you trying to make this your main hustle?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, cool. So, what's the biggest deal you've ever closed? Is it this one?
This one.
Dude, that's what I'm talking about. Okay.
Yeah,
Let me ask you this, because one of the things that's real hard for an entrepreneur and is very fragile is confidence, right? We hop in and we've got all the gusto in the world and we're excited, and then when things don't go right or it's taking longer than we want, and sometimes you just need that boost to your confidence. Like, where are you at now? Because when I was listening to that recording, I could hear just this giant smile on your face, and I felt like the confidence was just building up in that video.
absolutely.
So, like, how are you feeling right now, dude?
I'm super pumped. I'm super pumped. I can't wait to get all these videos to him and see his reactions, see how they turn out, which I know are going to be great. But honestly, when I closed this deal, it was like $7,000. I was like, should I just, make the jump and then just start doing this like full time? I know it's very soon to do that. I mean, I love what I do. I love my job. But that's how I felt. I was like, I mean, that was a great, you know, business transaction. And if I can do that with more people, and then when I told him, one of the things that I told him was, hey, I have so many ideas for you. We're gonna do all those videos for phase two. I told him, if you help me close deals for a sales trifecta, and then I told him, this is a sales trifecta, brand message video, testimonial, and the promo video for any of your friends, I'll shoot a video for you for free. And he's like, yeah. And he started mentioning like all the friends. He's like, yeah, I have a chiropractor, I have this person, I have this person. So, I mean, it's just like, at that point, I was like, if all these deals start closing, then I'm not going to be able to keep my current job.
That's going to be a good problem to have, not being able to do
Exactly.
your 40 hours at work, right? No, that's interesting that you bring that up. And this is the second time I'm going to bring up Philip Pearson today, because we were on our accountability call this morning, and we were talking about, reaching out to previous clients and asking for introductions to their business partners and people who they know. If you execute on this properly, and this, when you put it into effect and it starts getting him the results that he wants to see, there's no reason that he's not going to tell all these other people, if you ask him, hey, can I get a warm introduction to your whoever else? It doesn't even matter who they are. He knows other business owners, and he's going to go talk to them and be like, hey, how I was talking about that 25% increase in sales that we had last month? Well, the reason that we had that is because Camilo implemented this strategy. I want to introduce you to Camilo so that, you can go work on your business as well. And that is just so smart that you did that and you laid that up front, dude. That brilliant, dude. Great job. Okay. I didn't see any. Oh yeah. Chris has got a question here. He says, how long have you been into video? Oh, Chris, I beat you to the question, dude. Well, kind of. How like I asked you how long you've been an entrepreneur. You're still working, but like, how long have you been shooting video altogether?
So shooting video, I would say I started in May 2017, not knowing absolutely anything about videos. I was working for a medical school, and we used to do medical brigades in El Salvador, Honduras, and Dominican Republic. And then in one of those trips, they asked me if I could do a video. I was like, sure, I'll do it with my cell phone. I had an iPhone, and I did it, and I put it together, and it turned out great. I mean, great, as great as it can be. And then my boss back then was like, you're really good, you're really talented. Let's get you better camera, let's get you equipment. And that's when I started doing all of these things. And one of the things that I did is I bought the course like Parker's course. And then I learned everything about, not everything. I mean, I'm still fairly new in the videography world, but I learned everything about like lights and cameras and sound and what makes a video better. And then, I mean, it helped me so much. And then I got to a point where I was like, I need to learn the business part. And then I was in a Clubhouse session that you did with Nick, where he was talking about how he closed like a $65,000 deal. I was like, Man, that's awesome. And then I bought the course, your course, and I mean it's helped me so much. I've learned so many things. But so to answer your question, I started doing video May 2017, but I think my first camera that I bought, like an EOS R, was in like last year or so.
Good stuff. Do you have the confidence that you can do this over and over now, again and again and again, now that you've got one under your belt and you see that it's possible? Do you,
Oh
do
yeah,
you see a
absolutely.
path to doing this full time?
Oh yeah, absolutely, 100%.
Good. And are you confident now that you took Parker's course? Amazing course. If you guys are in our club and you have not taken that course, go take it. It'll improve your video skills. I've been in there for like 4 or 5 years, I think, at this point. So combining the video skills that you learned from that, Camilo, with the business skills, like, do you feel more like a well-rounded entrepreneur and not just a video person?
Absolutely, 100%. Like I said, when I was taking the course taught by Parker, I was like, okay, I already know about lights, I know about cameras, but how do I sell this? How do I stop selling a $200 video? How can I make this more like where I can sell more videos? And that's when I saw that session with Nick and the other things that you were posting. I was like, this seems interesting. And I mean, the return on investment is like right off the bat, like you paid and then you get, it's the same with BNI. When I joined BNI, like for me 2 years ago to pay some like $700 for something, it was like absolutely not. Like I'm not gonna spend that much money. BNI joined it, and then 2 weeks later, I had like 10 times return on investment.
That's awesome,
So
man.
yeah,
That is awesome. I think that everybody who's going to watch this and everybody who's on the call right now watching, can learn a lot from this. It doesn't have to be overly complicated, y'all. It really doesn't, right? Just follow the process, be confident, do what Camilo did, and go out and crush. Like closing $7,000 deals. Eventually, Camilo, you're going to get to a point where you're closing deals and you're going to think, man, $7,000, that's barely anything, right? Even though now this is the biggest deal you've ever closed, and you're like, holy smokes, I just closed a $7,000 deal. A year from now, when you're closing $25,000, $40,000, $60,000, you're going to be like, I can't take those $7,000 deals because it's not worth my time anymore. And that's exciting to get you to
absolutely,
that point, dude. That's
absolutely.
going to be sick. So, any last minute or last kind of thoughts, any advice for the people who are watching, anything that you, from this process that you learned, that you want to share your experience?
Yeah, there's three things that I think are really, really important. The first one is just to invest in that. By invest, I mean invest in equipment. I mean, make sure that your videos are really good. Invest in your education, like these courses, like your course and Parker's course, and there's so many other things that you can invest in that are gonna take you way further. And then BNI, something like BNI, I had no idea BNI even existed. I paid for it, and it's been amazing. Um, and then for BNI, one of the things that I've seen is like the more you give, the more you're gonna get. If you join BNI just thinking about, okay, I need deals, I need referrals, that's not the proper, way to do it. I was able to, I also do web design. I joined BNI and there's a web designer. And then I had someone reach out to me saying, hey, we need some web design. And then I referred that to that person. And I didn't know how big of a project that was. And she said it's a huge project, like it's going to be huge. And then now that web designer is like, for every website that I sell, I'm going to ask them to do video and I'm going to reach out to you. So it just works. So yeah, invest. And then, I mean, for your meetings, just prepare, just go through a course. I mean, everything, all the content is right there. I'm not super experienced. I've just been doing what you told us to do, and it works. And then engage with the community. I mean, like I said, it's not just David or Mark. I mean, if you ask a question, people will answer. I've talked to different people, to Alan, to Lee, to different people in this course, in this group, and they're all super helpful. So that's my 2 cents.
That's what I love to hear, man. That just pumps me out that the community is coming together and making stuff happen. So honestly, I couldn't give any better advice, guys. Camilo, he nailed it. 3-4 points of advice that I couldn't speak any more on that. So Camilo, congratulations, dude. That's
Thanks, bro. I
a
appreciate
huge
it.
win. Biggest deal you've ever had on the books, but I can promise you this, dude, that's going to be a small fish later on down the road. And I'm excited to see where you go, my man.
All right. Thank you so much, David. I appreciate it, man.
Of course. All right, everybody else. If you have questions and you didn't get to ask them, put them in the Facebook thing here, and maybe Camila can answer them later after the fact. If you want to watch the replay, you can watch it in the Facebook group, or it will be uploaded. It's a module 8 of the course. And yeah, let's go out there and close more deals like Camilo's doing. So Camilo, thanks, brother. Congratulations, and we'll see everybody later. Of course. All right, later, guys.